Thank you. Life is funny. Married life is even more fun. When a couple gets married, their life of fun and confusion begins. The man thinks, I own this woman. She's my wife. I don't only own her, I own what she owns also. And the woman thinks, I own this husband. I own this man. His money is my money and my money is my money. You see, the confusion really is, who's the boss? Who owns whom? And it is like, if you own a donkey, does the donkey own you? No. No. You see, the marriage certificate does not tell you who is the donkey and who is the owner. The donkey part is not so much far off. When I said to Satlaj, she said, my husband is not a donkey. Well, I have seen people, men who feel like they're burdens of peace, and I have seen women who think they're burdens of peace. This man and woman relationship is so funny and confusing. When one tries to be funny, the other gets confused and even angry. So the marriage certificate really is two funny and confused people are allowed legally to live together as long as they like. Now, I have been married for 41 years. And funny it is that every time, even after 41 years, when I talk about marriage, I feel confused and nervous. I think I have been married maybe longer than any one of you, except maybe Sheetal.
What? No, I'm not married yet.
All right. Now, how many of you, please raise your hands, how many of you know Sheetal? All right, thank you. I'm going to ask you a simple question. And you have to answer me in yes and no. And if you did not receive, you say no. Now, have you received an invitation from her saying that she is not getting married?
No.
Did you answer me in yes or no? Did you get the invitation or not?
No.
Then how do we know that she's married or not? You know, if she brings her husband here and he says, I'm not her husband, then we will believe it.
This is ridiculous.
I know I'm confusing you. See, I know I confused you, but I would say, please finish all your confusing course before you get married. Because many of us started a confusing course after we got married, and we are still confused. You see, I can tell you through experience that the most difficult years of marriage. And I think Mr. Ram Gopal could be my witness. Mr. Ram Gopal, could you stand? Could you please face the audience? Can you face the audience? Can you please say, my name is Ram Gopal?
My name is Ram Gopal.
Not like that. Look at me. My name is Ram Gopal.
My name is Ram Gopal.
Thank you, sir. You can be seated. Now, where was I? I was married 41 years ago. So, I was saying, I am married longer than I think any one of you. And the most difficult, you are my witness, sir, you look at me. The most difficult years of marriage, and Mr. Ram Gopal will agree, the most difficult years of marriage are those after the wedding. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests, all marriages are happy. All marriages are happy marriages. It is the living together that causes all the trouble. Look at me. For example, I am here and she is there in New York. No fight. No argument. What a peaceful, happy marriage we had. Happiness. What brings happiness? It is very hard to tell. Poverty and wealth, both are fate. And so has marriage and divorce. Now, there was never a question of divorce between me and my wife, even though we are an odd couple. I am a Sardarji from north, and she is a Malayali Christian from south. I go to church with her sometimes. One day, it was a Sunday, I was coming out of church with my wife, and I saw a simple neighbor with two black eyes. And I said, Mr. Simon, what happened? And he says, you know, I was sitting behind this very fat, hefty woman, and when she got up to sing the hymns, her dress got caught in her butt. And I, being a nice guy, I pulled it out and she punched me in the eye. I said, okay, what about the other eye? He said, I thought she liked it that way, so I pushed it back in. She finds this funny, but she is not willing to laugh. Back in New York, my wife loves watching Home Shopping Channel. On Home Shopping Channel, sometimes they show pretty, well-shaped girls using exercise machines. Sometimes I watch with her. She watches the exercise machines. I watch the girls. My girl is a nurse. And I was a patient in Calcutta Central General Hospital. It's been a long time ago. I was 23. She was 19. I had boasted to my friends before going to the hospital I will beg a nurse third friend. After my eye operation, both my eyes were bandaged and I lay helpless there in the bed. I asked for an English-speaking nurse. She came and she touched me, and a soft female hand felt so good. I grabbed it. I said, "What is your name?" She said, "Eliamma." I was disappointed. "Amma, I didn't come for an Amma." I said, "Forget about Amma. Can I call you Ali?" She said, "Okay." Afterwards, everybody called her Ali. After my eyes were opened, I was dying to see what she looked like. So I started looking for her, searching for her from the least pretty nurse. And I said, "Sister," and I hated that word. "Are you Eliamma?" And she said, "No." And I said, "Thank you, God. Thank you for saving me." She was not the prettiest girl. My eyes were set on the prettiest nurse in the ward. She was beautiful. She was fair. Now, that's not the bell, right? She was fair, shaped like a violin. She had playful cat eyes and a naughty smile. I was hoping she is my idol. Every time I asked a girl, and she said no, she was not Eliamma, thank God. I said, keep moving forward. I reached almost at the top. When I reluctantly asked, I said, "Are you sister? Are you Eliamma?" I was hoping she would also say no. But she smiled and said, "Yes." I felt like a man who had lost his lottery by just one digit. I complained to God. I said, "Why are you so cruel? Why did you stop me here? I was only one step away from my dream girl." Well, inside, I'll admit, I was happy that now our romance could begin. I had found my love. After we became lovers, one day, Ali said to me very shyly, she said, "I'll tell you a secret. You know, when I touched you for the first time, I felt a strange, pleasant current go through my body." I was very happy. I was happy to hear that. But I thought, what is so strange about it? I had felt that current any girl I touched. Then I said, "I will tell you a secret too." I said, "You know, I started searching you from the least pretty nurse, and I found you at the top." She was thrilled and smiled like a rose. And then I foolishly added, "Only Ratna was prettier than you." She never forgave me for that. Women, look at them. They don't forgive easily. Women don't forgive easily. My wife has not forgiven her doctor either. In 1971, Ali was over pregnant with her first baby. She started having labor pains. I rushed her in a taxi to the hospital. I ran out of the taxi into the hospital and I begged, "Doctor, doctor, Please rush, my wife is having a baby in the taxi. Then I went back to the taxi to my groaning wife, and we waited and waited and wondered what happened to the doctor, until I heard a woman screaming and protesting. The stupid doctor had called me to the wrong taxi and he was forcefully undressing the wrong woman. See, women, and you women are here. Tell me if I'm wrong. When a woman becomes a mother, she gets lost in her world, loving and caring for her baby. I was happy to be a father, but as a husband, I could not exist anymore. I was only now a protector and a provider, with zero romance in my life. One day, I came home tired. I planted myself in front of the TV. I put my feet up on the coffee table and I sang, Ali, can you get me a cold beer from the fridge before it starts? She was caring for the baby. She rushed to the fridge. She brought me the can and went back to the baby. I gulped it down and I sang again, Ali, can you get me another before it starts? This time she was pissed off. She went to the fridge, thrusting the can in my hand, and said, next time you need a can, you pick up your lazy butt and go get it yourself, okay? I said, start it. She broke into laughter and rolled back to the baby. One evening, it was evening, I was standing close to her while she was rolling chapatis, and I was admiring her skill with the rolling pin. With all the love in my heart, I asked, Ali, will you marry again if I die? And she said, no. I will go and live with my widowed younger sister. And then she said, will you marry if I die? I said, no, I will also go and live with your younger sister. She said, you rascal! She came running after me with a pin, rolling pin. I defended myself. I said, wait a minute. I just said the same thing you said. She didn't find it funny. She doesn't always find things funny when I find them funny. I had a funny habit of leaving an empty milk box in the fridge. One day, it irritated her. And she said, why do you always leave an empty milk box in the fridge? She said, what if somebody wants a black coffee? She didn't think it was funny. We got into a long argument. She got more and more frustrated. And she said, I was a fool to have married you. I said, honey, I was in love and I did not notice before getting married. I thought I won the argument. But guys, if you win an argument with your wife, the argument is not over. The argument goes on and on as long as you're married. We were married for a long time. We are celebrating our 25th wedding anniversary. I said, Ali, you're living in such a lovely house. We have a brand new Mercedes and we watch a 30-inch plasma TV. 25 years ago, we lived in a rotten apartment, had a broken down car, and we watched a 10-inch black and white TV. But I still miss sleeping with the 25-year-old girl. She got angry. She threatened me. She said, "You get a 25-year-old girl and I assure